Live. We are live 100%. So if you're live and you're watching this right now, I need you to signify on the chat and just drop a comment. Let me know that you can see me, you can hear me loud and clear. I need to be sure that you can hear me, you can see and hear me loud and clear. Okay, so if you can hear me loud and clear, just put a comment in the chat so I can see you. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Wale Adebayo. I will be leading you in the section today for this live today. Hello everyone, nice to have you here. Nice to really have you here. So it's gonna be a quick one. I'll start first by telling a story of something I noticed last week. So last week I joined a few Facebook groups for caregivers, and I was just reading through comments and posts inside of the groups, and I noticed something that there are a lot of experienced caregivers, right? But it seemed like there are not a lot of jobs for these experienced caregivers. So to prove my observation, I decided to make a post in one of these groups. And I posted and said, why are you not practicing as an independent caregiver yet? I mean, this is not the exact word, but something like this. I was like, why are you not practicing as an independent caregiver yet? That was what I posted. And a lot of comments keep coming in. They were just coming in. Even before this live, I was still getting some responses coming. And about 85 to 90% of the comments, if I am not mistaken, literally pointed to the direction of, I can't find job. I can't find a family to hire me. There are no jobs out there in my city, and so on and so forth. So the point is, majority of the responses I got simply indicated that they were not getting hired. They were not getting jobs. So it seemed like we have a lot of caregivers, experienced caregivers who know how to do the job, but they are not finding work from families. And at the middle of this whole, situation are the agencies who seem to have these jobs directly from families, and they are recruiting caregivers to work in their system as an employee and assigning these experienced caregivers to go do the job. So now, here comes the situation. The situation here is, in my view, these agencies are leveraging the problem of the experienced caregivers not being able to find families to hire them directly. And because that situation seemed to put the experienced caregiver, and I'm deliberately using the word experienced caregiver, and I'll explain why. So because the experienced caregiver is unable to find a family who will hire he or her service, right? The agencies seem to exploit that problem and tell them, well, the only way you probably can get a job is if you work for us, you work for our agency, and we will assign you to go work with the family. Now, this is what happens in that equation. And I'm not against agencies, by the way. I am not. And I'll talk about that shortly. So this is what happens. So the experienced caregivers who have 3 years, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in the job is now dependent on the agency because she needs to pay her bills, she needs to work, she needs an income. And to her, it seemed like the only way she can get an income as an experienced caregiver is to get hired by the agency. Well, that is not true. And I believe you know that is not true. The agency might make it seem so, but doesn't mean it's correct. Okay, so let's move on. The challenge here is this. You see, and this is the problem I have with our school system, our traditional school system. You know, when you go for trainings and all of that, they teach you the skill, but they do not equip you with the tools that you need to implement the skills. So there are three things you need to be successful in anything in your career. Three things. Number one is you need the right mindset, you need the right skill set, and then you need the right tool set. For most caregivers, also, I don't know all the caregivers, so I'm not going to say most. For some caregivers, they have the skill set, but they don't have the entrepreneurship mindset. They are equipped with the skill set and the mindset to work as an employee because that's what the system, that's what the educational, aka government indoctrinating system teaches them to do. To be an employee, to work under a system, an agency. So they teach them, they restructure the mindset of the caregiver to think and believe that the only way you can survive and make life happen for you is when you work as an employee in a system. And the caregiver graduates from that training with that mindset. So they never think about working independently, running their own private practice, and so on. They come out looking for a job. They come out looking for who to hire them, an agency. Now, the problem with that is that it literally conditions their mind mentally to believe that they can't run their own independent practice. That's number one, right? And we're going to break that belief shortly. Number two is they find it very, very hard to start their own independent practice because they don't believe it's possible that they can do it. So if you don't believe it, then you can't do it. Now, moving on. The challenge here is this. It's not about having the skill. Like I said, you're trained to have the skill to know how to do your job as a caregiver. You're well trained on that. Beautiful. But what about the mindset? Not the mindset to be an employee, but the mindset to run your own independent care practice, because there are two different mindsets. The mindset to work as an employee is different from the mindset to work as an independent caregiver who runs his or her own care independent practice or private practice. Now, number three is the tool set. The tool set is literally what you need, your system, your own independent system that you put in place to make your private practice work for you. So for most caregivers, or some caregivers, I'm not going to say most, for some caregivers, what they are missing is, number one, the mindset, and then the tool set. They have the skill set because that was what you were trained to do, and you developed your skill set on the job working over the years, which is why you are an experienced caregiver. So now let's deep dive into the the part where the agencies are leveraging your experience. Now, for the agency, they know that you were not taught the mindset to work independently, and they know that you don't have this true set, which is what you need to get clients on your own independently in your area. Because I can 100% tell you for sure right now that there are families right now in your city who are looking for you. And I'll prove it to you. It's simple, it's easy. Research shows that 1 in every 4 to 5 houses on the street have an elderly person that needs care. Either an elderly person or a young person or someone that needs care. And when I mean someone that needs care, it doesn't have to be as regards to declining health issues. It could be as regards to just support. 1 in every 3 to 4 houses, or maximum of 5 houses on the street, needs assistance. They are looking for caregivers. They are looking for personal support workers, PSW. So the question is not that there are no jobs out there or there are no families who are hiring. The question, the real problem is caregivers, experienced caregivers, do not have, number one, the mindset, number two, the tool set to make themselves findable to be hired. And that gap is exactly what agencies are exploiting. Because they know that the caregiver don't know how to do these things. Because the aspect of the agency is the entrepreneurship aspect, the business aspect, which the caregivers was never taught. The caregivers was trained to deliver a service, which is having a skill. But the caregiver was never taught about the business aspect of it. How to get clients, how to manage clients, and all of those aspects. And that's the aspect that the agency knows. So what we're going to do here today, in this section, quickly in the next couple of minutes, is we're going to bridge that gap at the middle. We're going to bridge it right now. That's the whole essence of this section, so that you can start getting clients for yourself. Because there's nothing like there is no people or there is no client in my city. There are families who are looking for you right now. There are families looking for you right now in your city to hire you. The problem is that, number one, they can't find you. And the reason why they can't find you is because you're not positioning yourself so that you can be findable. You're not. And you're not positioning yourself to be findable because you don't know how to position yourself. You were not taught. And I don't blame you. I blame the system. I blame the government indoctrination camp, the school system, where you went to learn. Because the curriculum was designed to keep you under a system that places a ceiling on your income, and number two, that determines how you work, which eventually leads to you having burnout. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's move on. So how do you get clients in your city? This is the part, like I said, that the agencies are leveraging. So let's break it down. How can you get clients in your city? First thing, number one thing you need to do right now, internally first, before we get into, so there's the internal aspect of it and there's the external aspect of it. So let's deal with the internal aspect of it, because for everything that has life, it starts from the inside. Everything that is flourishing starts from the inside. One of Newton's laws of motion says that all objects remains at a state of rest until a force is applied. All objects remains at a state of rest until a force is applied. Let me explain what that means. What it means literally is everything will stay still until a force comes to make that thing move. And most of the time, it's always from within. It is always from within. From within. If you can change the inner person, it's only a matter of time. The outward person, it will reflect, that change will reflect in the outward person. Your mind controls your actions. Your actions does not control your mind. Whatever you do physically emanates from your thoughts. It's always first within, then without. So first of all, let's close the gap within. Within. Let's do the inner work and then we do the outer work. So now this is broken into 2 steps. The inner work, step 1 and step 2, the outer work, step 1 and step 2. Right? Okay, great. Now, the first step you need to take to find clients to get hired in your city. The first thing you need to do if you want to get hired in your city, I mean in the next couple of days. These things I want to share with you, you need to do them. By the way, if you're watching this and you can hear me loud and clear, you can see me and you can hear me, I need you to just put put a comment on the chat, like I can hear you, I can see you. I need to be sure. All right, just put it on the chat. I can hear you, I can see you. I need to be sure. So just put that on the chat. So the first thing you need to do, if you want to get hired in your city, in your suburb, in your province, in your country, whatever, whichever one works for you, right? If you want to get hired, these are the things you need to do. I'm going to share with you right now. Right. First thing you need to do is you need to decide, who do you want to serve? Let me explain this. As simple as this is the first thing that determines if you will be hired or not. You see, the mistake people make is they try to generalize. I talked about this in one of my videos. They try to generalize. I mean, generalizing is good, but what I mostly recommend is always have a specific area that you're very good at. So the principle is this: know something about everything, but know everything about something. I'll say that again. Know something about everything. As a caregiver, have an idea about a different aspect of what you do, right? Of caregiving, personal support, and all of that, home worker, and all of that. Have an idea about it, because at some point you might need to fill in and help out, right? So have an idea about all of this, but specialize and be very good in one area. So the question is, what area are you good in? And we're going to make this interactive right now, because I want you to, I see some people are watching right now, so I need you to interact with me. Tell me, what area are you good at? Just put it on the chat. What area is your specialization as a caregiver? Because if you don't have an area of specialization, then you need to fix that. You need to fix that. What area as a caregiver, what aspects of caregiving are you specializing? Put it in the chat. I want to see it. Put it in the chat. Okay, this person says child care. Okay, amazing. Okay, elderly care. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Dementia. Beautiful. Good. Good. Okay, fine. These are some of the areas, right? And there are several areas. I mean, uncountable areas. Several. But the point here is you have to specialize in one, because that becomes your title. It becomes what you will be known for. It becomes what you will talk to people about. It becomes what people, when people are describing you or recommending you or talking about you, it becomes the area that they mention that, oh, this person is good in this area. You become the person they sought after when it comes to that area. Number one, you need to specialize. Have an area. Remember what I said? Know something about everything, but know everything about something. Very important. Very important. Number two, let's move on. Number two, you need to build what I call your care promise. Your care promise. You see, watch. When families are hiring, they are not hiring you because you have a skill. They are hiring you because they are hiring you, or they want to hire you because they want you to perform a certain responsibility that will help them achieve something. What is that thing that the family wants to achieve? What is the outcome? That becomes your care promise. It becomes, in business, we call it your offer. What are you selling to them? Are you selling to them that, oh, I'm a caregiver, I have 3 years experience, and I've worked with this, I've worked here, I've worked in this city and that city? These are features. When it comes to product, we're talking about product development. You're talking about features. People don't pay for features, people pay for outcome, benefits to them. So honestly, for me, I don't care about how many years of experience you have. I care about what problem are you going to help me solve. If I hire you, what problem are you going to help me solve? What are the benefits I will get for solving that problem for me? I'll give you an example. Families who are hiring caregivers, they're looking for one of these few things I'm going to mention. Number one, they're looking for someone who will help them utilize their time properly, because they don't want to spend time taking care of their loved one who needs care, because they need to work, they need to do other things. So they need someone who will help them do that job so that they can go focus on their work or other things they need to do. So are you coming in to help them utilize their time, save their time, so that they can be more productive and, for example, provide for their family, do other stuff that will benefit the family? Another one is, are you coming to help the person heal? This is relative. Heal faster and heal the right way. These are things you need to put in your care promise, put together as your care promise. What is your care promise? What are you promising the family? Because if you don't know these things, then how do you market yourself? Because we're not talking about marketing here. We're talking about your internal stuff, what you need to put in place. Because if I was to hire you, these are the things I want to hear you say. If I was to look you up on your page, Facebook, your website, if you have one, your landing page, if you do have one, these are the things: kidney disease, amazing, stroke, recovery, kidney disease. Moses, thank you very much, Moses. These are the things I want to hear. These are the things I want to hear you say, right? How are you going to help the patient who is dealing with kidney problem to recover, or to go through the healing process, or to manage the situation? What is your care promise? This aspect is what distinguishes you from every other caregiver. Right now, the caregiving space is so competitive because it seems like we have so much caregivers spread across the city, the country, your location, and there are limited families who need caregivers. So the question is, how do you distinguish yourself? The competition is high, but I don't like to play in the league of competition because I do not compete with people. I am in my own league. And the only thing that distinguishes me, that allows me to play on my own league, is my care promise. Because no one will have my care promise. My care promise is bespoke, it's custom made. You can't find it anywhere else. Because I am the only one who can deliver it. I created it. And only me can deliver it, nobody else. So if you don't hire me, you're not going to find this anywhere else. What is your care promise? What is your care promise? Do you have a care promise? Or what you tell family is, I have 12 years of experience as a caregiver. I've worked with a family in Toronto, and I did this, I did that, I did. That's not a care promise. Your care promise should be, what is the benefit of your service to this family? You see, this care promise is the difference between you being paid $22 an hour and those who are being paid $48 an hour. The caregiver who have a clear, precise, what I call ground slam care promise, distinguishes ourselves from the ones who are being paid $22 an hour or $27 an hour, and then she positioned herself to be paid over $40 an hour. Think it's not possible? I know of caregivers who are earning $75 an hour. The care promise. And it's not about making the care promise, you have to deliver it. Listen, let me break this down a little bit further and then I go to the next step. Watch. This is how you calculate it. Because you could be paid, honestly, I'm going to give you guys this one. You could be paid $60 an hour if you do this right. Watch. If I am the caregiver you want to hire and I'm coming to your family, so watch how I'll use my care promise to win you to make me pay $60 an hour. First of all, before we even get talking, I have done my assessment, I've done my research about you, your family, I've asked questions, I've gone on Facebook, do some research about you and all of those stuff. So I know your purchasing power, your financial capacity. If I sense that your financial capacity does not fit into the range of my rates, I don't want to have a conversation with you. I will gladly just decline. You don't listen because you need a job or you want to get hired. It doesn't mean you have to take every job. They are what we call nightmare clients. You do not need nightmare clients. I'm not even going to get into that. Watch. So let's assume you fall into the rate, my rate, right? But I want you to pay me $60 an hour, not $22 an hour. So how do I win you? You want me to come into your family to help you as a caregiver. Watch what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to ask you, what are you doing right now? You see, first of all, you want to take the position of control. You do not want to lose control to the family. Well, because you're a caregiver, does that mean you don't have dignity? You're a professional, for God's sake. You are a specialist. Remember, you are a specialist. You are a consultant. See yourself as that. You see, when I talked about the mindset thing, you are not thought to be a consultant, to think like a consultant, but that's who you are as a caregiver. Because if they can do your job, then let them do it themselves. It's because they cannot do it, that's why they need your service. You are a consultant. So speak confidently and ask questions confidently. Interview them. In every job interview, there are two interviewers and two interviewees. The person who's seeking the job and the person interviewing the person seeking the job. If I am the one seeking the job, trust me, the person who wants to hire me also, I need to interview the person as much as the person needs to hire me. So let's move on. First, I asked you, okay, currently, what is this situation costing you? Watch. What is this situation costing you? And you'll be like, I don't understand the question. Okay, I'll rephrase. Let me explain. Right now, you're the one taking care of your dad. So since you're taking care of your dad, what are you losing? Are you losing time? Is it depriving you from working? And the person will be like, yes, I don't have time to work. It's depriving me from working. Oh, okay. If it's depriving you from working, if you were working, how much do you think you will be making? What would you be achieving from the work you would be doing if you were not taking care of your dad? If your dad was not sick, or if someone else was doing the job, and be like, well, that's personal, I can't tell you that. But you'll be getting something that you're not getting right now, which means that you're losing something because you're doing this job right now. Is that correct? Yes, it's correct. Okay. Now, if I come in to take this job, it means that you will be able to achieve what you're losing. Correct? Correct. So what is that thing you will achieve worth to you? You don't have to tell me. Let's put it in figures, but you don't have to tell me. And the person in his mind actually have that thought, thinks about it. He doesn't have to tell you. But what you've just done is you've triggered the person to quantify the value of you doing the job versus what he or she would gain when you're doing the job. And what he or she will lose if you are not doing the job and he or she is doing the job. Now, in that case, what happens is this. The person thinks about it and say, okay, exactly. That's why my rate is XYZ, because it's literally less than 1% of the benefit you're going to get. And more so, this is what I'm going to do. This is all the benefits you get, XYZ, XYZ. And before you know it, it'll be like, yeah, this is my care promise. This is my care promise. At the end of the day, when I'm done with this contract, this is what you're going to have. This is the experience you're going to have. This is the transformation, X, Y. So when you speak confidently this way, trust me, they know that, number one, you know what you're doing, you know what you're worth, and then you are good at what you do. This is the difference between those who are paid $18 an hour, $22 an hour, and those who are paid the hour end. What is your care promise? Let's move on. Let's move on. Number 3, just 2 more to go. Your rate. I talked about rate. You see, some caregivers don't have a fixed, they don't have a rate. They don't even understand how to set their rate. And the only way to set, the best way to set your rate, not the only way, the best way to set your rate is to set it based on your care promise. You set your rate based on your care promise. So if you don't even know your care promise, then how do you know what you're worth? How do you know what you're worth? Right? Your rate, very important. Set your rate with confidence. Right? And then the last and final one is when you have your rates, you have your care promise, and then you know who you want to serve. The most important part now is doing your marketing. What is your marketing? How will families find you? Now, this part, I'm going to spend some time to talk about it because this is the heart of the matter. This is how you get hired this week if you do the work. This is how you get hired this week if you do the work. So, how will families find you? The first question you want to ask yourself is, where are families showing up currently? Where are the places? Where are all the places families are showing up? Online, in person, where are they showing up? We're going to discuss maybe 1 or 2. There are so many of them, but I'll discuss 1 or 2 because of time. Where are families showing up? I'm going to give you 2. I'll give you 1 online and I'll give you 1 offline. In your location, in your area, in your suburb, in your province, where are families showing up? If you don't know this, this is the reason why you're not getting hired. So I'm going to solve that problem for you today. So first, I told you earlier on when we got started that research shows that 1 in every 3 to 5 houses needs a caregiver. In your location, and I don't care where you live, if you live in Canada, UK, US, any part of Europe, even if you live in Africa, I don't care where you live. This is real statistics. Why? Because humans live where you are, even in remote areas. As long as there are humans living there, people need care. So if you're living in an urban area, you have no excuse why you're not being hired. Honestly. So if you're not being hired, it's because you're not doing the things I want to talk about right now. Because as long as there are people, as long as you can see people with your eyes every day, they need care. They have someone in the family who needs care. You're not just positioning yourself currently, or you're not communicating with the people who need your help, who are looking for you. So let's break that down. Now we're talking about the external stuff. We've dealt about the internal. Let's talk about the external. Number 1 is community associations, local community associations. You know, there are different local community associations. Different. Are you part of those associations? Do you connect with them? And when you connect with them, do you tell them that you're a caregiver? Do you announce yourself? Do you talk to family? Okay, so listen, let's do it the old-fashioned way, the very, very old-fashioned way. Do you have like what we call a call card? a call card. Simple. I don't have one. I have one over there. Simple, like a business card. You know business card, right? Business card, right? A call card with your name, what you do, simple and short, your contact number. You go to people, you go to this association in your local environment, associations, communities, these small groups, regardless of the age, whether they are teenagers, they are adults, they are elderly ones, regardless of the age, do you go in there and just announce yourself? Hi everyone, how are you doing? My name is this. I'd like to share with you what I do. I'm a caregiver. I help with this. I help with that. You probably might not need care, but someone in your family might need care, or you might know a family that does need care. This is my call card, and you can just reach out. If you send a family my way who needs care, I would compensate you for referring the family, for connecting me with the family. I will compensate you. You see, as simple as what I just said is, it's so powerful that caregivers, the smart caregivers, are using it to get clients over and over and over and over again. As simple as it is. The challenge is we don't want to connect with people because we get too stuck with social media. We get too stuck with our phones online browsing. Meanwhile, the people who need us, are actively looking for us, are right within our vicinity. But we are not out there to communicate with them, to join this little association. Whether it's a church, for God's sake, you're a Christian, there are people in your church. You're a Muslim, there are people in the mosque who needs you, but you're not communicating. Do you have a call card? Do you have a call card? Less than $2, you can have at least maybe 20 to 100 pieces of call cards. If you don't have a call card, get a notepad, little notepad, sticky notes. Write your contact with it or something and share it to people. As easy as that. In your church, in your local assemblies, where you fellowship, whether you're a Christian, Muslim, whatever you believe in, your friends in the school, your workplace, name it. Because why? As long as there are people there, they need care. They know someone who knows someone that knows someone who needs care. Oh, let me give you another one. Hospitals. Connect with the doctors, the consultants, the medical consultants at the hospital, the administrative staffs. Go to them and talk to them. I'm a caregiver, and you guys have patients over here. Some of these patients will be discharged soon. I would like to speak with the families. If you just let me know when the family come around, and you could give them my contact or my call card, or let me know. I could come around and talk to them and just let them know what I do. These are hospitals in your community, medical centers in your community. It's all there. These are people looking for you in your community. And your online browsing, posting on Facebook. We'll get to that shortly. But what you need is around you already. If this is making sense, put a chat on let me see it on the chat. If this is making sense to you, just put yes on the chat. If it's making sense to you, put yes on the chat. Because technology seems to make us blind of what is obvious in front of us. Technology is good, but trust me, nothing beats the old-fashioned way, especially in this industry of caregiving. If you want to get hired in your city this week, it's 100% possible. And I'm sharing with you what you need to do. And if you will take action on these things I'm telling you right now, you will come back to share your testimony, to share your success story. I just gave you 2. There are several others. In fact, I gave you 3. Your church, local community associations in your area, hospitals, medical centers, get a call card, talk to people. Well, let's look at online. So the online space, how do you do it? Online space. Now, as a caregiver, I would, if I was in your shoes, I would prioritize the local strategy over the online strategy, and I'll tell you why. Because the online strategy, even if people find me online, is likely they are not going to be, it's more likely that they are not going to be within my vicinity, my area. More likely. More likely. Except if you are the kind who is willing to travel to do the job, which is good, beautiful. I love to travel, right? I like to take speaking engagement in other cities, states, countries. I love it, right? I love it. I like to take jobs, consultancy jobs. I love to travel. I love adventure. Um, if that's something for you that works for you, beautiful. But if you want to leverage your online space, there are two strategies I'm going to share with you. Number one strategy is if you have a budget, even if the budget is lean, run ads. Is one of the fastest and most effective way online that you can get clients even within the next 3 to 4 days. Run online ads. Run online Facebook ads. You have no idea, it's so effective. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. These three apps for caregivers. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If I was to prioritize two, I'll prioritize Facebook and TikTok. Run ads. With $2, you can run ads on TikTok. With $2, $5, you can run ads on TikTok. You might not be able to run ads effectively with $2 on Facebook, but I know on TikTok you can. Run ads is one of the fastest and most effective way you can get hired in your city as quick as possible. Number two strategy, if you want to do online, is have a website or a landing page, right? And post organically on your Facebook, on your social media. This is slow, but it still works. The reason why I said post organically on your page is because unlike ads, the moment you stop the ad, because the reason what ad needs is it needs money to keep going, to keep running. Now, if you decide that, okay, I don't want to keep spending this money on ads, the moment you stop the ad, that traffic stop coming in, inquiries stop coming in. But when it comes to posting organically about what you do on your social media, and you have a landing page like a website where people can go, even if it's just one simple page that people can go and read about who you are, what you do, right? And how they can contact you and all of those, your stuff that you need to have based on your care promise that we talked about. What the organic content does for you is, even if you choose not to post content in the next 2-3 weeks, and before that 2-3 weeks you've been posting, you've been posting consistently, what it does for you is, even after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, people will still find those content as at the time they need it, and they will still contact you. Content marketing, content promotion, organic content promotion is almost evergreen. Almost evergreen. Almost. I'm not saying it's evergreen, but it's almost evergreen. People will always find you when they need it. Right now, thank God, with the whole algorithm thing on social media, we've moved away from social media. We're now in interest media. We've gone away from the era of social media. We're now in the era of interest media. Let me explain the difference. What's social media? I know you, and because I know you and you know me, we follow each other. So when I post the content, and because you follow me, you see it. When you post the content, because I follow you, I see it. That's social media. You know each other. But right now, that's not how it works anymore. When I post the content, someone somewhere who doesn't know me or never heard about me before is seeing the content. And I'm seeing other people's content as well that I don't even know and they don't follow me. I don't know, they don't know me, I don't follow them, I've never followed them in any way, but I'm seeing their content. And that is interest media. Why are they seeing the content? Because somewhere, some form, they have indicated that they are interested in the things I'm talking about. So if I am constantly talking about caregiving, providing care based on my niche, if my niche is, for example, Grace said her niche is stroke, kidney, caring for people with stroke and kidney disease. If I keep talking about that I care for these people, when a family goes online and research anything about stroke or kidney disease, my videos, my written content will pop up. That is interest media, not social media. And that's where organic content comes in, and it's so powerful. As a matter of fact, my recommendation is whether you're implementing the local strategy or the traditional strategy I talked about first, also implement this organic content strategy. Implement it as well. Implement it. It's important because it's almost evergreen. It will continue to bring you clients. It will continue to bring you clients. Caregivers do not talk about what they do. And I don't blame you because the system never trained you to think like an entrepreneur and position yourself so that people can organically find you. The system only taught you that you need to work for an agency for you to get paid. But we're changing that. And that's why we founded CareHive. We're changing that. We're taking the power away from agencies and giving it to the people who the power belongs to, which are the caregivers. Because they are the real people who are doing the job, who are actually helping families directly. And they deserve to be respected, they deserve to be paid what they are worth, and they deserve to be recognized as a professional. That's why we decided to build CareHive. And that's exactly what CareHive is doing. Removing the middleman and connecting the caregiver directly with the family. All of our system, everything we do in CareHive is built on that. So this is where I'm going to stop now. First, if you think you want to move forward to set up these 4 things I've talked about today. First, you want to refine and define your niche deeper. Because you refining and understanding your niche deeper, not just in terms of skill, but emotionally connecting with it, will help you serve your client. It will help you do the number 2 thing, which is create your care promise. If you want to do that, create your care promise, a compelling care promise. Because, like I said, the difference between the caregiver who's paid $20, $22, $26 an hour and the one who's being paid $40, $38, $40, $45, $50, $60 an hour is the care promise. And then the positioning. So if you want to do all of this, you want to get hired in your city. If you're serious about getting hired in your city in the next couple of days or weeks, and to get hired, I mean you have to put these things I just talked about in place properly so that you distinguish yourself from the crowd. If you're really interested and you really want to take this career personally and move it forward, not depending on agencies, not depending on hope, hoping that it comes, hoping that you get hired, but working with a system that actually with that actually brings you clients with deliberate effort, not on hope. If you're interested, I think it's on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 days practical workshop that we're having. Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. We're having a workshop this week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, where we will help you set up these 4 things I just talked about in this life. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the goal of this is that after this workshop, you should be getting your own client. 100%. You should be getting your own client within your area. No doubt about it. So if this is something you're interested in, you want to be part of the workshop where we will help you, we will work with you, right? Practically, each day of the workshop is a 3-day workshop, right? I don't like to call it workshop. It's a life, the direct family hire live session or something like that. That's what the team called it, right? For 3 days, each day is about 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours section every day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This new week we're entering. If you want to be part of it, what you just need to do is go to carehive.com. Carehive.com. I'm putting it on the chat. carehive.com/hire section. .com/hire section. Go on carehive.com/hire section to sign up. Now, it's not free, it's paid. 3-day workshop is paid, 3-day live section is paid. It's going to happen live virtually like this, right? But it's going to be intense because you will need to come with your writing paper. You will need to come. It's a strategic section. Remember what I said. What you are taught is the skill. Here we're going to give you the mindsets, the skill. Well, we're not giving you the skill set. You already have the skill set. So we're helping you with the entrepreneurship mindset as a caregiver, and then we're helping you with a tool set so that you can get hired and paid what you're worth. Now, the goal here, the outcome here is you will get hired by families in your city, in your location. So everything we're going to do for you, if you go on that page, carehive.com/hire section, you will see everything you're getting, and everything is what about, if I'm not mistaken, about $299 for. $29.94 is about $29.94 US dollars. But because we want you to be part of it, and we do understand that yes, you certainly might not have that money right now to afford that session, we're giving it out completely for almost free for just $97. The 3 days for $97. I mean, there are some consultant that does this and they charge up to $500. $5,000 and all of that, but we decide, you know what? No, let's make this as easy and as simple as it is, barrier free, so that people can join easily. Just $97, and then you have access to join the 3-day live workshop. Right? Once you sign up, details will follow. You get emails. You even get phone calls. Providing you with everything you need to do. You will need to be part of the session. And show up, we get things done. The goal is to get you hired, right, in your location. Now, let me quickly say this as a wrap up here. Now, watch this. Investing $97 into your career that will help you get hired within the next couple of days or weeks, right? Maximum 4 weeks. Within 4 weeks, you've gotten hired within your location. Now, when you get hired, let's assume let's just assume at the very least, you're being paid $30 an hour from what we will help you set up and put in place. So let's assume you're being paid $30 an hour from an investment of $97. So which means 4 hours of your entire contract that you will sign has literally paid for the $97 investment, if I'm not mistaken. 4 hours, no, less than 4 hours, about 3 hours or so. Let's just say 4 hours, because 4 hours is $120 if you're being paid $30 an hour. So 4 hours is $120. when you're investing $97. So you only need to work 4 hours and it pays for the investment of $97 you'll be doing. Right? So think about it. Investing $97 to be paid what you're worth versus not investing it at all and keep struggling. You make the decision for yourself. I think you already know the answer for yourself. Right? So it's like investing 4 hours to save yourself from the stress, from the struggle, from the frustration, right? So that you can have freedom to be paid what you're worth consistently and have multiple clients in your city that help you pays up your bills, your debt, and get you out of the struggle that you're in right now. Just 4 hours versus not investing the 4 hours and keep struggling. I'll let you answer that question. So if you're interested to join the workshop, it's happening Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. Then go to that site. Carehive is on the chat, carehive.com/hire section, and sign up for $97. And I'll see you, myself and my team will see you this Saturday, this Thursday, starting on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 3 intense days. So that being said, I want to appreciate every single person that joined this live session. Honestly, I want to appreciate you. We're getting back in the circle. We'll continue conversation in the circle, and let's make this week another amazing week. So that being said, have an amazing day. If you have questions, please drop your question in the circle. We'll respond. The team and myself will certainly respond to your questions in the circle. But that being said, have an amazing day. Wish you all the best and look forward to having you in the live 3-day session. The workshop will be having today, this week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So remember to go sign up, and I'll see you later this week. Cheers.